Hey, this is the LaGuardia Film and Television Studio. We're going to be going over some of the basic parts of the studio. So if you look right here, we have two wired lav mics. These are mics that they pin on the lapel just above the collar. You'd want to go under the shirt and clip on here. And things like news, it's totally acceptable to see the lav a little bit. Though if you can hide it a little bit, that's good. If you're shooting a film, of course, you don't want to see that at all. So those two are there. These are for our two hosts. Here we just have our TV playing our graphic in the background. And then over here we have a prompter. We convert it over to a tablet. You can do two things. You can create a new project or bring up one that you've already started. So I'm going to bring up the web TV one. This is like more of a template. So this one says, welcome to LaGuardia Web TV. I am your host Blank, and today we'll be speaking with Blank about the new film Blank, right? So it's sort of a movie show template. So if we were going to hit start, we would see this counter, and then the text we'd start to see come down. And now, of course, this looks weird, but if we were to insert this in here and then back off, came down, we can see that the text is scrolling. To stop the text, we can tap. We can go back. Of course, you want to make sure you're staying under the lens, right? Your hands don't want to be in the shot. And then also, if you need to adjust the controls settings, you can change the scroll speed here, or you could have this delay, which I have on, stops 3 seconds and then begins. The Samsung icon goes on the bottom, this slides in here. Prompter person is probably going to stand somewhere about here. So these are our Panasonic HD cams, and the good thing about them is they have big focus wheels, if you can see probably over here. So they have nice big focus wheels. So it makes it nice and easy to focus on the talent. You can create a nice slow zoom like you see in contemporary television shows. And then from there, you have this headset. So this is our headset. What this enables us to do is speak with the director in the booth, and they can speak with us. In general, they're going to be telling us what to do. They're going to say, camera one, as it's marked here, zoom in. Camera one, loosen up. Focus, ready camera one, that just means that they're gonna probably go to me. You'll also hear preview camera one, things like that. So we have 3 cameras. The middle camera holds the prompter and essentially is the establishing shot, so the wide, right? So when the talent is beginning the show, typically they're speaking to camera 2. So that's something the talent should keep in mind. For the most part, they're talking to camera 2 if they're looking into the lens. You have the other 2 cameras here that are marked, camera 3, camera 2, cam 2, and then cam 1. Now, the reason why it's set up this way is this camera is angled towards that talent. It's diagonal, and the reason why we want that is because we can see more of their face. If this camera was here, and the talent were talking to each other, you'd essentially see side profile. And if you can avoid that, you should avoid that. It's not like a cardinal sin to do side profile, but in general, with this type of news platform, you want to show more of their face when you can. That's why the camera's crossed like that. So camera 1 is on this talent, camera 3 is on that talent. Okay, these are our KinoFlow lights. They're good lights for this room because they run cool. They don't heat up. They're essentially fluorescent lights, but they're fluorescent lights that can dim, which is unusual actually. So if you were to go up and hit the dial, you could dim them or make them more bright. This will allow you to lower the light. Don't touch it. These are a little bit heavy. In general, the sandbag wants to be the heaviest leg. And also it's generally pointed at the talent so that it won't tip and fall on the talent, right? So when you're in this room, it's as easy as turning these 2 KinoFlow lights on, and they're up to the the appropriate level, so you should be able to just leave them. Okay, so this is our HD control room. We have our Sony switcher here. What this lets us do is choose live between angles. We pick the angles, and then it all records into this Blackmagic device, which can take the audio and the video together. So what we have here on our monitoring system is we have camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. This allows us to see what's going on before we choose the camera. If you look at this, this is our program monitor, this is our preview monitor. Also, this is the big screen, which is also our program monitor. So this is what the show is going to be. This is the end result. So when you're here, you're going to look at camera angles, you're going to preview camera angles, and if you like it, you're going to go to the camera angle, and you see it changed over here. So the way this switcher works is that this top bar, you'll see this is red. Red means live, right? This orange means like preview. So if we want to preview camera 3, it's marked camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. If we want to preview camera 3, we preview on the bottom. So we'll preview 3, we'll look at it. If you didn't like that shot, you'd say camera 3 tighten up or pan over, or camera 3 focus, and you'd say preview camera 3. The TD technical director would preview camera 3. If you liked it, the director would say take camera 3. You'd hit cut and it would go over. And again, if you're going to preview, it's on the bottom, so you'd say preview camera 2. Oh, camera 2 looks good. Take camera 2, right? So you're previewing so you can look at stuff. So some directors might go preview camera 1, preview camera 2, preview camera 3, take 3. You know, so it means you can preview a bunch of shots until you want to take them, right? So that's part of it. So through the headset, you can talk to your camera people as far as tightening shots or letting them know that they're going to them. And then you're also talking to the technical director who sits in this chair, and they're doing this. So now to add to that, there is something called playback. Playback is like if you're watching The Daily Show and they go to a news package, or if you're watching The Late Show and there's a guest on and they want to talk about a movie they were in. Okay, so what you do is preview the playback. So you could say preview playback, and then you'd see it's up here. And then when you were ready to go to the clip, you'd hit cut, and then you tell the person in playback to roll on the clip. So the playback person would play the clip. While that's playing, we would preview camera 2 and then dissolve to 2 and come back out. So that's another thing you can do too. You can dissolve from one camera to another, right? So what we can do is preview down here. So we could preview camera 3, let's say, and then dissolve to 3. And you see what happens. When you preview here and then you hit dissolve, it turns red and then bounces up, right? So it's always going up. So preview, cut, boom, it goes up. Preview 3, cut, boom, it goes up. So that's how you have to think of it. You're previewing down here. Once you cut, it goes up, and then you preview here. So let's preview camera 4. Let's roll on a clip to The Conjuring, and then we're going to dissolve to 4.
Down into the cellar where the doors just opened on its own. Give us a sign that you want to communicate with us.
So when we were done, we could see when the clip is done here, or we could hit end all. That would fade down, and then we could preview camera 2 and dissolve back to 2, right? So what this does is it allows us to interview people, cut between 3 angles. It allows us to play clips and adjust audio levels, and it all gets funneled into this one recording device. So if you did it perfect, you would have a complete show. and never have to edit. That's the power of this. So this is our mixer. This is pretty straightforward. You have these levels marked here. There's a nice big arrow for about where they should be. This is mic 1, mic 2, so you have mic 1 out there. These are your talent. So mic 1, mic 2, that's mic 1, mic 2 out here. And then the third is the playback. So the playback is all the clips that we were playing, right? So we could play a clip that's up. Or when the playback's up,
Been called ghost hunters,
we could sneak these down so you don't hear the talent chattering. Maybe they're on set, maybe they're talking to each other, right? So when the clip is playing back, you want the microphones down. When the clip is done,
someone here that would like
let's
to
say
talk
we
to you.
hit end all, you want to pull this down and sneak this up. So really you're dealing with levels between the talent and the playback machine. So it's not that complicated, but it's something that has to be done. When you go to a clip, pull down the mics, so because they might be chattering, they might need to talk with each other, because when they go out to after the clip, they might need to like improv something or whatever. So it's the mixer's responsibility to push the playback up and pull these down when a clip's playing. Sneak these up in the beginning of the show when the intro is playing. So let's say we're playing our intro. So we're playing our intro. So these would be down. And what we would do is sneak these up so we can hear our talent, sneak those down. And over here we would preview camera 2 and dissolve in the 2. The person on camera 2 is going to point to the talent when they're cued to start. So if we were doing it sort of one-man band style, we'd have the playback ready, that's going to play our intro, and we'd have camera 2 preview, that's our wide shot, right? So what we're going to do there is the playback person's going to sneak down the mics and put up the playback. From there, you're going to hit take. The show starts. We know we're out in 5, 4, 3. These sneak up, 2, transition to camera 2, and then we're live. So that's going to be set on headphones. So the camera 2 person's going to hear that, and they're going to point to the talent one when they're ready. So that's basically how it works. You have this playback machine. You import clips just like importing them into Premiere Pro. You save the project. Here I have the intro. I have a Conjuring trailer, a Batman trailer, and a Pixar trailer for Up, I think. And so the playback person could tell you out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and that would give a heads up to the director. These clips are longer, so it's 2 minutes, 20 seconds. So if you're into this, the playback person would basically say, okay, it's a 2-minute clip to the director. They'd be like, okay. And then when they're out in 5, playback would be like, we're out in 5. And then the director would be like, okay, we're ready, camera 2, dissolve the camera 2, right? So playback just needs to pick the clips, play them when the director tells them, and then just give them a heads up when they're about to end. So that's the playback. It's pretty simple. And then over here is our record area. This is very simple. The only thing you have to do is make sure that you have levels here. Now obviously no one's on the set, so you're not going to see big levels, but what I can do is put up the trailer here. So you're going to see some levels there, and as long as they're at a healthy level, bouncing around -20, you should be okay. There's another thing to double check if you're recording. Sometimes they call this master control. You're essentially recording. But these 2 audio levels need to be on in order to funnel the audio through to that device. So that's something, when this switcher is turned on, if these 2 are not on, they have to be on. Because if we look, if they're not on, we get nothing there, right? Nothing. If they're on, we get it. So that's something to keep in mind. The control room is, for the most part, set up to be able to come in and start making a show. So if you're interested in making a TV show, talk to me, Tom Seymour, talk to Pedro Urena or Oswald Barrios.